I'm still at the I-80 truck stop, and this little girl, I come back to the truck. What did you do, Connie? What did you do? Did you roll down that window? Huh? Was that you? You know better. We've had this talk. I come back, she's sticking her head out the window. She knows how to hit this button. Don't you? Was that a no? Yeah, wasn't it? You're such a good girl. You're such a good girl. Yeah. 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 Pretty girl too, aren't you? Camera shy now. Yeah, we're still at the I-80. I cut off that video inadvertently. Got in the truck, grabbed the camera. Must have hit stop instead of pause. Had to get a couple t-shirts. It might be a little noisy. Connie likes her window down when we're going slow. She gets so many boring hours in the truck. It's the least I can do.
Motherfucker, you had another mile before you merged.
We'll get rid of that. Wait for this fella to keep walking and get out of the way so I don't run him over. Not even with the trailer. I've seen truckers that are not as considerate as me. I literally ran into the tandems on his trailer while they ran into me as he was turning, and I was walking through a truck stop parking lot. He come hauling around the corner, couldn't have cared less if I was there. That's a nice looking rig right there, Northwestern. Newer Peterbilt. Tell you, if I had some time, I wouldn't mind spending the night here. It looks like that's a cat scale headquarters right there. Not a bad spot for them, because they got the trucking museum. I think that would be really cool to go through. But we have a delivery to make. And I'm not sure how long this video is going to last. I got my app turned on for way stations and stuff. And if there's one coming, it's going to tell me, and that's going to stop the video. Look at this guy. That's a BMW, an old 80s BMW that was meant to be a cruiser. It was featured in a James Bond movie back when like Roger Moore was James Bond. You don't see those very often. They weren't a big hit. I haven't heard one, but I'm told they sound like a fart. Yep, we hit 50 and Connie's done. 50 miles an hour is about her limit, and she gets out of the way. Video gets cut off because I started making these things. I've said several times from my brother who was in the hospital, couldn't go anywhere, and I just started trucking, and I wanted to give an idea of what this whole thing was about. My dad's done a lot of stuff in life, but can't get around anymore. My mom too. They're 91. And this is my way of sending a letter. Hey, hop on YouTube. My grandparents, when I was little, had all my 4 other older brothers and sisters. We would get a reel-to-reel audio tape that my grandparents would make and put in the mail. And then we could make one and send it back. That was in the late 60s. So between that and having a color 8mm like camcorder, that was high tech. And now I sit here and make a video on my phone, upload it into the sky from my truck, and they watch it on YouTube at their house in South Dakota. That's wild. So I don't use YouTube for what most people use it for. I'm glad I got viewers. I don't even know how many. Oh, one time, I had like 600 or 800. I know that's not a lot for most people, but I was never in this to get viewers. I was surprised I ever got any. Any followers, I mean. Got like 5 hours except this. My mom and dad know that. But if you watch that last little short video at the beginning of this one, hey, I showed you the world's largest truck stop. That's a BMW, and it's a cruiser that they didn't make very many of. But there's a reason, because they were really weird. That was supposed to compete with a Harley. Not that I'm a huge Harley guy, I got an Indian. Like my grandpa. I didn't know he rode an Indian before I bought mine. I bought mine, then I found out he rode an Indian. I knew he rode motorcycles, I didn't know he rode an Indian. Pictures of both of them in there. So you can just see the DNA. And me and the bike. If I knew how to do it, I'd splice them in here. But I don't know how to do it. Went up a little hill. Oh, yep, we're going to go down a little hill. This is more exciting than South Dakota. And there's a lot more cars on the road, and trucks on the road too. South Dakota excitement is passing someone. You better soak up every bit of enjoyment while that pass is going on, because then it's back in the right lane and boring again. Going in a straight line, not doing nothing. Look left, look right, and all you see is more flat and road in front of you. And this is actually more exciting than South Dakota, because it's more hills. If I got any followers from down around where I live, around Knoxville area, yeah, when you call ridges, we call mountains. What's 1 mile an hour? I mean, besides time, money, fuel. surprised at how big the Mississippi was last night. You know, I'm not too sharp on my geography. On the details in between, like Minneapolis and here. But the river just starts in Minnesota right up there. Starts out as a creek, and to have it this as big as it was here, it was like, man. I'm not sure what else feeding into it for other rivers and tributaries between here and Minneapolis, but damn, that's big and hurry.